Good morning, parents, teachers, and friends. My name is Abigail Moeljono, and I'm from the AE class. Today, I'm going to bring up a very serious topic, which is about climate change. Do you ever think, why does weather change worsen as the world develops? Well, that's what I'm exactly going to talk about today. Next slide, please. I'm going to talk about 5 things which are the background of research, causes, consequences, course of action, and conclusion. Next slide, please. So let's start with the background of research. So why did I pick this research question? There's a lot of questions about climate change. Well, as we all know, the world is getting more developed in technologies and other things. However, in the past, there's not such thing as that. But the weather is way better comparing today. So what exactly is the cause? Is it us humans? Can we solve this problem? Next slide, please. Next slide. Okay. As you can see from the graph above, the global surface average temperature has risen 0.08 degrees Celsius each year. And you can see from the Indonesia average temperature has risen a lot since 1961. Next slide, please. So, what exactly the causes of this? How can this all be happening? Well, let's talk about the causes. There are 2 types of causes. Next slide, please. Well, the first causes is human activities. So yes, we are the main reason why this all are happening. But exactly how? Well, the first thing is deforestation to build factories and buildings. The second one is from pollution to provide our daily needs, because transportation and the factories to provide our daily needs. The third one is technologies. Next slide, please. Technologies could be a good thing and a negative thing. The positive technologies include solar panels and wind turbines because they help to prevent the climate change. However, the negative technologies are like transportation and air conditioner. Next slide, please. And the second type of causes is natural causes. This includes sun, heats, and volcanic activities. Next slide, please. With all of that, this has caused a very huge impact, especially for our future, because this has brought up very serious consequences. So what are the consequences? Next slide, please. Well, the first consequences is rising sea level. Next slide, please. Next slide, okay. As you could see from the graph above, the global sea level has risen 21 centimeters since 1880. And I could say this is very dangerous because, next slide, please. Because this is what Jakarta looks like right now. Because Jakarta is right now sinking, and it's predicted that by 2030 it's already underwater, which is why the government is planning to move the capital city from Jakarta to Nusantara. Next slide, please. The second consequences is human health risk, because the crops are hard to fertile in high temperature, causing people to get hunger and diseases. The third consequences is natural disaster. This includes droughts, floods, and hurricanes. After having natural disaster, this would cause an infrastructure damage because the natural disaster, of course, destroys the properties, which also cause economic damage because the government needs to repair all of the broken properties. Next slide, please. But with all of that things, we still have hope to solve this problem and contribute to it. Next slide, please. So there are 2 things that we can do. First is driving less. Cars produce pollution that are toxic for our environment, such as carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide. Living car-free decreases the CO2 by 2 tons each year. So let's just walk or use bikes. Next slide, please. The second thing we could do is do reforestation and be a voice. Trees play an important role in our life because they provide us oxygen and absorb 30% of the CO2 each year. If reforestation is too hard for you, then be a voice and make everyone aware of this problem. Next slide, please. Unfortunately, my presentation has come to an end, so let me conclude what I have just said before. Global climate change has been a serious over the years. And the worst thing is that we are the main reason why this all are happening. This includes pollution, deforestation, and technologies. However, there's also natural causes, which are sun heats and volcanic activities. And this has caused a huge consequences for our future, just like rising sea level, human health risks, natural disaster, and economic damage. However, we still have hope by doing these 2 things, which are driving less, do reforestation, and be a voice. Next slide, please. I would like to end this with a Bible from Genesis 2, verse 5, which says, "The Lord God took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to work it and take care of it," which reminds us that we should always take care of what has God given us, which is our planet. So that's it for my talk today. Thank you for listening. I hope after listening to this presentation, you can make it different. And God bless you.